Have you ever started off your week super strong with a perfectly planned out, thought out plan that's gonna get you to accomplish your goals this week, but somehow, some way, as time progresses, you find yourself kind of falling off or not following through or just staying really frustrated because you just can't stay focused and you can't stick to your plans and you just are struggling to kind of keep up with everything? Well, I have been there multiple times throughout my entire life when it came to me accomplishing my goals. I would literally sit there and plan out the perfect week, plan out the perfect day, and then somehow nothing would come out of it. So in today's video, what I want to share with you, what I want you guys to learn from is how I stick to my plans. And how I stay focused and how I stay on top of my things every single week. So I am somebody who was a procrastinator, okay? I would, like I said, plan, but fell short with my execution. I sucked at execution. I sucked at making progress. I sucked at not fulfilling what I've always truly wanted. And now the person that I've become today is someone who is consistent, someone who I can say, hey, I'm going to do this, and I actually follow through with what I've said. I have become such a completely different person altogether. I'm much more disciplined that everyone else can kind of see how much I've changed. And so I want to give you guys that guideline of what I did to really go from someone who procrastinated, who never fell through with what they wanted or what they said, to now accomplishing my goals and really being on the track to having a better life than what I started out from this year. So I'm going to show you guys how I stay consistent and how I stay focused throughout the week, and the strategies you can implement when you have those thoughts of wanting to quit, and how to actually push through all these rough patches. I've went through my little rough patch, but I'm coming back stronger, staying here on YouTube, okay? So if you guys are new here, my name is Geraldi and I make videos all about goal setting, productivity, and procrastination. So if that's the type of content you love to consume, then don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Also click the notification bell so you do know when I do upload, and follow me on all my social media. Everything will be linked down in the description below. And also, for those of you who have enjoyed watching my videos and just need that extra push, that extra oomph to really get yourself to accomplishing your goals this year, then feel free to join my waiting list to my accountability membership group called the Studio of Self. So we are a collective of women, a private space for us women who feel like they go unnoticed, who don't have the support system from a community. So this is a space where you're going to learn how to accomplish your goals, how to stay organized, how to stay focused, how to commit. Okay, this is a commitment. And we are a space that is going to allow you to have the opportunity to become accountable through the community, through having an accountability partner and having those bi-weekly check-ins. You will get a whole 6-week course all about discipline and how to stop procrastinating. So this is a space that will really just guide you to becoming the person that you've always wanted to become and actually accomplishing your goals this year. Okay, so this is a space for, like I said, the unsupported, the unnoticed, the women who feels like there's so much chaos and they just need to get a grip. They need to create a system down to actually accomplishing this. In the description down below, it is free to sign up for the waiting list, and in this waiting list you will also just be receiving monthly newsletters from me, just more free tips aside from my videos that I will be sharing with you guys. So if you want to sign up for that as well, go ahead. But you will be getting free weekly tips, and then once the doors do open, the only people that will get a chance to get into this membership are the ones that are on the waiting list. Everything you need to know will be down in the description below. Like I said, only 6 members will be able to sign up. It's gonna be first come first serve. So once you're in, girly pop. And then we will join together on this amazing journey on accomplishing your goals. So let's go ahead and get started with the first tip of today. So number one, when the old habits start to creep in. So let's say you start off your day strong, you wake up in the morning at 5 a.m., you got a good kick going, and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna eat clean. But once you go to work, once the day continues and you get out of work, then you start to feel the need to want to go and get some fast food. How do you stop yourself from getting fast food, right? How do you stop yourself from wanting to go revert back to your old bad habits? So there's a couple things that help me stay focused within my own journey towards accomplishing my goals. So when you are slowly switching from a bad habit to a better habit, you want to start off with a habit that you are most likely able to accomplish, right? Whether it's I'm switching from bad cookies to better ingredient cookies, or from eating out to eating in, from working out at home to now working out at the gym and doing weights, or from planning out content to maybe recording content. Like, what is the shift? What is the thing that you can mostly do every single day? Because the key is that we need to do this every single day. We need to work on our goals every single day to get that momentum going. So when I first started off from switching from somebody who was inconsistent to being someone who was consistent, I got into the habit of coming up with YouTube titles that would ignite that creativity within me. And then from there, it kind of progressed from writing out YouTube video titles to making scripts to filming the content to uploading this content to now having a consistent flowing system of having an uploading schedule and being able to upload and edit all these videos on a schedule where I'm not missing a day. So we want to kind of flow into what we want to be without really stressing ourselves of being like, I need to change everything. So I always stress about the fact that you need to change one habit, one goal, one habit, and that's it. And then once you're kind of in that rhythm of things, once you're in that momentum, then you can start implementing more and more and more. But when you try to do everything all at once, you're just going to fail at everything all at once. So to focus, to stay consistent, is to focus on one thing at a time. It's not implementing 10,000 habits. It's not implementing 10,000 goals. I always say that people make so many goals, but don't realize that there's so many habits that fall under that one goal. Think about losing weight, okay? Losing weight is just one goal, but there's like a bajillion habits that follow up with accomplishing that one goal. It could be changing your entire habit from cutting out sugars to cutting out sodium to cutting out sweets, and maybe changing up your breakfast and your lunch and your dinner. Maybe it's learning how to cook at home. Maybe it's meal prepping. Maybe it's learning what kind of workouts you actually like. Maybe it's figuring out your workout schedule. Maybe it's figuring out how the hell are you going to keep up with your eating regimen, right? Like, there's so many habits that fall under just one goal that we think that, oh, I can accomplish one goal, so therefore I'm going to add 4, 5, and 6 goals. But there's probably 10 habits that need to change just that falls under that one goal. And how the hell are you going to change everything all at once when you can barely change one goal, right? So when I started off my journey of accomplishing my goals, is I started off with one singular goal, which was my YouTube channel. I wanted to become a YouTube content creator. At this point, I feel like I kind of am a YouTube content creator just because I've been uploading content for an entire year now, and I'm just at a point where it's like, okay, we need to shift our systems around. But I didn't start off that way. I had a YouTube channel for the last 10 years where I uploaded content inconsistently because I didn't have that system, because I wasn't focused on actually accomplishing my goals. I had multiple other things that I would prioritize over that singular goal. But once I honed in on the one singular goal that I really, really wanted to accomplish, everything changed. Okay, so number 2, how to push through when you want to quit, right? So it's not just about allowing these habits to come through. How do you push through, right? Let's say you actually have that one singular goal that you really, really want, but it's just, you just want to quit. You just want to go back. You just don't want to continue on. How do you push through? So you got to have that balance of tough love and validation, okay? You got to validate those feelings. You got to validate how tough everything is. You got to validate how upsetting that things have not played out the way that you want to. And you also got to have a little bit of tough love. You got to tell yourself no, okay? I always put ourselves in the thought of parenting, okay? We're reparenting ourselves, and this is just going deeper within. We are reparenting ourselves, and you are allowing yourself to be an iPad kid. An iPad kid, if you guys don't know what the term is just a term for a child who uses their iPad excessively. And a parent uses that iPad as a way to cope with their feelings. When a child is having an outlash, when the child is bothering them, when the child is just in their way, they revert to, oh, here is the iPad so you can leave me alone, and I don't have to solve that problem. I don't have to solve that issue. The iPad will do it for me. But all you're doing is kind of just avoiding the problem, avoiding actually fixing that child's bad habits. You're just putting a band-aid over a huge problem. And that's kind of what we do with ourselves, right? When so much around us is just going wrong, what do? We revert to scrolling on TikTok, being on Instagram, just avoid by being on our phones instead of actually facing the problem up ahead. So when you want to push through, when you want to quit, it is not your time to validate yourself. It's not time for you to go back and be like, oh my God, poor me. Oh my God, I'm like, so much is going on and it's affecting me and I don't want to do this anymore. And so you just throw in the towel. No, there has to be a point of validation of like, yes, taking the day maybe off and like needing to just recoup with yourself, and then getting right back into it the next day, getting right back into it the next hour, and jumping back in and being like, this is what I truly want. This is how this is the life that I really want to live. You can't just continue you can't continue giving into the iPad, and you got to learn how to reparent yourself. You got to learn how to actually look at your problems face to face and being like, how can I solve this, instead of just completely avoiding a problem because you don't want to look at it in the face. And that's just the uncomfortableness that comes with being an adult. That's just the uncomfortableness of being an adult. You got to learn how to confront things. You got to learn how to solve your own problems, and no one else is going to come to solve these problems. So when you quit, when you throw in the towel, that doesn't affect anyone else but you. And all you're doing is just creating more of a cycle of, I hate the situation I'm in, I want to change it, but then I'm quitting all the time, and it's just becoming just this like back and forth cycle of never getting out. So how do you push through? You give yourself tough love. You tell yourself, you face these problems, even how uncomfortable they will be. To give you an example of like what confronting your problems is, let's say you want to become a content creator, and the problem that you keep avoiding is actually uploading this content because you're waiting for the perfect moment. You're waiting for something to happen. Or let's say you are putting out these content and it's not going anywhere. It's not, you had a failed launch or no one watched your videos. This is not the time to quit. This is the time to reevaluate and push through and find a new strategy. Like I said, you gotta have that tough love. This is not that yes, you can validate of like, oh man, that sucked. Like I put so much effort into this and it didn't plan out. I'm just gonna throw in the towel. It's like, no, we're not throwing in the towel. We're going to take a day by validating ourselves and being like, okay, yeah, this sucked. But then we're also gonna give ourselves a tough love of like, no, girl, like you need to keep going. You need to push through. This is not the time to just completely throw in. We can have a day, but we're not throwing in our year. Take a day, not the year. Allowing yourself to really realize that even if you threw in the towel, it doesn't change your situation at all. In fact, it makes it worse because you have nothing to look forward to. You have nothing to feel proud of. You're just going to continue living the day-to-day life that you already live. So why throw in the towel when you don't even like where you're at? Might as well just keep going and just seeing where you land. You know what I mean? Because that's kind of what I'm doing. It's like, okay, I'm tired. I feel burnt out. Sometimes I'm like, I really have my bad days. And sure, I could just throw in the towel and be like, forget it. Like, this is not working out clearly. And I could just throw in the towel and just call it a day. But that's not going to change my situation. I'm still going to be living where I live, being who I am, and being the person I've always been. And I've been not liking it. So it's like, why am I going to throw in the towel when it's not going to change anything? Might as well just keep going. Gives me a purpose. It gives me something to do. So that is the tough love that I give myself of like, Geraldine, like, it's not going to change your situation whether you throw in the towel or not. And the only thing that's going to change the situation is if you just keep going and being consistent. And then that's just how I push myself through. So number 3, how to stay focused, okay? So it's not just quitting. It's not just like being disciplined. It's like, how do you stay focused on this? How do you do this every single week, right? How do you do it every single week? It is so freaking hard to want to sit down when everyone else is having fun, having to sit down and doing the hard work. How the hell do you do that? So you need to make a step-by-step, simple way to keep it going. For example, a system is how I do my my scripts. Okay, I've made a system where I'm able to get what I need to say done, what I need written done, and it just makes my life so much easier when I know what I have to say, what I'm going to say in my videos, and not just like raw dogging everything. Okay, so for my system of scripting, I have my hook, my problem, my solution, call to action, and 3 tips. The 3 tips that I always give in my videos. And that just made my life so much easier when it came to actually filming these videos, because instead of having to think off of the top of my head of like, how am I going to record this video? What am I going to say? I'm like, okay, I know what I know I need a hook, I know I need a solution, I know I need a problem, I know I need a call to action, and I know I need to give 3 tips that really solve the video's problem, right? Whatever the title is, to solve the problem of whatever the title is. And that helps me a lot. That's a simple system that I can follow through every single week, and I don't have to worry about like, what am I going to record? Because if I'm too busy thinking of like, how am I going to record this video, I'm wasting time. And I'm already off focus, off the grid. So to stay focused is you need to have a system place for every goal that you want, for every single task. So if you want to lose weight, what does that system look like when it comes to you going to the gym? What are you doing? What are the workouts? What are the weights? What are, like, put it into detail, put it in a 1 through 5 list of what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. Give yourself that guide, that step-by-step guide. If you were to write it down for somebody on what you do on a daily basis in terms of accomplishing your goals, would that person be able to follow your system? Would that person be able to follow what you're up to? Because you want it that simple that someone else could just right away implement it. Let's say it's, hey, I'm trying to lose 15 pounds. Okay, how are you doing that? Well, step number 1 is that every morning I make myself eggs and eat a rice cake with banana and peanut butter on it. I'm eating a very healthy, protein-based breakfast. Step number 2, I am making sure that I am packing my lunch for work and I'm keeping within this calorie deficit. And step number 3, at 5 o'clock every single day, at 5 o'clock every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I am going to the gym, walking 2 miles, and working on arms or on legs. And then step number 4 is I'm making sure that I am meal prepping for the next day. I'm making sure that I'm coming home, I'm having dinner, and making enough to meal prep for my lunch the next day. And then if you were to give that to somebody, they're easily able to understand what you're doing and how to implement in their own life. You want to make it so simple that someone else can just follow along. Because when you make it simple and when you make it like that detailed step by step, it's so much more easier to stay focused. Because if you're just very vague on your step by steps, you're going to be like, what the heck did I write again? What the heck am I doing again? You wouldn't know. But when you write it down in specifics, in a simple way where you're like, yep, I can just go ahead and start from here. Yep, I know how to pick up the camera and I know exactly what I'm gonna say, and it just makes things flow so much more easier. That is just how I stay focused every single week. I also made a YouTube video on Monday for how I plan out my weeks every single week and how I stay focused and how I stay organized throughout my week. If you're interested in watching kind of like the planning stage of like the before you execute, you can watch that video. It'll be linked down in the description or probably pinned in the comments somewhere, or you could just check out the channel. It was probably the last video that just got uploaded. If you want to watch the planning stage of this like focusing and staying organized portion of this topic, then go ahead and watch that. I think I kind of like the whole like planning and executing type of thing, because you really do need both. You need to plan out your week and then learn how to execute. So if you want to watch that plan with me video, it'll be up in my channel. Alrighty guys, so that is all. But anyways, okay, so if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, click the notification bell so you do know when I do upload. And follow me on all my social media. I am at Charlie Silva. Thank you guys so much for watching. And don't forget to sign up for the waiting list for the Studio of Self, because we will be launching soon. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!